As well as their world-class roller coasters, Alton Towers have some fantastic dark rides in the park. Take the brand new Curse at Alton Manor for example, which is one of, if not the best dark rides in the UK. For younger guests, there's Gangster Granny the Ride, another great dark ride found in the world of David Walliams, and then there's the Alton Towers Dungeons 2, which you could class as a dark ride as it does include a short indoor boat ride. The list appears to be growing with the imminent return of a previously closed attraction, but could one much loved classic Alton Towers dark ride be closing for good? In today's video, we'll be looking at why we could be seeing the end of Hex at Alton Towers. Before we get started, if you do enjoy watching, then please hit that like button to let me know, and if you are new around here, then please consider hitting that subscribe button and ringing that notification bell so you don't miss a single thing, because we make plenty of theme park and adventure videos here which you don't want to miss. I'm also very close to hitting 3,000 subscribers now, so if you like what you see, then please consider hitting that subscribe button, it would really mean a lot. So let's talk about Hex. So over the past year, the ride has had a few troubles. I mean, for the whole of the 2022 season, it was closed for about 2/3, maybe even more. And we don't know why that was. It was never confirmed what the reasoning behind the ride being closed was. From what I heard, there were a few technical issues going on with the ride, and it had to undergo maintenance. And I even heard that at the very start of the season, when it was operating for a very short time, guests could hear banging noises going on whilst riding it, which is something that you definitely don't want to hear whilst you're riding a theme park ride. So at the start of the 2022 season, and for a very short time, Hex was operating, and then it closed for whatever reason that may have been, and it didn't reopen again until Oktoberfest. And I remember visiting during Oktoberfest, and it still wasn't operating, and then literally the day after it opened again, and I was gutted. So it works out at around 6 months that Hex was closed for in 2022, but when it did reopen again, and when I went on it during Scarefest, it was running better than ever, and I believe it even had some new effects added as well. Honestly, it was a really good ride. I mean, Hex has always been a good ride, but it was running better than I'd ever experienced it before. So I thought that from then on, Hex would be running in full swing for the 2023 season. However, that doesn't appear to be the case. We visited Alton Towers on the opening day of the 2023 season, and that was mainly to check out the Curse at Alton Manor, as well as pretty much everyone else going on the opening day. But of course, sticking with that spooky theme, we also wanted to go check out Hex as well. Seeing as we didn't get to go on it much last year, we thought we'd give it a go and see how it was running this year. If you've had chance to ride the Curse at Alton Manor and Hex, you'll probably agree with me that the Curse at Alton Manor is a little bit better than Hex, but having said that, Hex is still a fantastic ride, and I always love going on it when I go to Alton Towers. But yeah, I would say that the Curse at Alton Manor is the better one of the two. If you've never experienced Hex, it's a Vekoma madhouse, so it gives off the illusion that you're going upside down. However, it's actually the room itself that's spinning around you. You do still swing on this ride, but you definitely don't go upside down, which is pretty obvious as you only have a lap bar. But anyway, we went on Hex on the opening day of the 2023 season, and it was running okay. I mean, it wasn't running as good as it was when we last went on it at the end of the 2023 season during Scarefest, but it was still a good ride. I still had an enjoyable ride, but it was a little bit lackluster compared to when we previously went on it. And I may be wrong here, but I believe some of the effects that we experienced at the end of last year weren't working when we went on it at the start of this year. But having said that, it was still an enjoyable ride. I still had a great time on there, and it was great to get back on there after the closed season. But then very shortly after the opening day, Hex closed again, giving us deja vu of last year in the 2022 season, where literally the same thing happened. Now, at the time of recording this video, Hex is still closed, but this always happens when I record a video like this. I'll record it, and then the situation will change before I release the video. So that could happen with this one as well, and Hex could open between now and when I release this video. But yeah, at the time of recording this video, Hex is still closed. But by going off what happened last year, it's very possible that Hex might not open until the end of the 2023 season, and if it does, then it may be very temperamental. And just like last year, we don't know the reasons why. Could Hex be broken? Does it just need a ton of maintenance? Or could it even be that Alton Towers are trying to direct our attention to the brand new The Curse at Alton Manor? all of which I think are very possible. I'm not sure of what the overall cost of a Cursed Alton Manor refurb was, but I'm pretty sure it would have been rather expensive, so it wouldn't be too crazy to think that Alton Towers would prefer guests to check out this new and exciting ride rather than focus on Hex. Other than the opening day, the Cursed Alton Manor has had very short wait times, and that's due to the ride system itself. It's continuous, so it eats up guests, making the wait time very short. So Alton Towers would want more guests to check out the Curse by taking away the other spooky themed dark ride in the park. As well as that, when Subterra reopens, that will be another dark ride in the park that will be very popular in those first few weeks and months. So Alton Towers will be thinking of the best plan of action to keep up the hype for the Cursed Alton Manor, as well as build up the hype for the return of Subterra. So eliminating one of their older dark rides might be part of their plan. Now this is just speculation, Hex might just be broken again and need some maintenance, but I really hope this isn't the end of Hex because it's one of my favourite dark rides in the park. In fact, it's one of my favourite dark rides in the whole of the UK. Before the Cursed Alton Manor, it was my favourite dark ride here in the UK, so yeah, I would hate to see Hex go. Hex opened in the year 2000, which makes it 23 years old this year. And we've had 2 dark rides open since 2021, with Gangster Granny and the Cursed Alton Manor, and then we'll hopefully have one reopening later this year. So it could possibly be the end of the road for old Hex. As I said, I really hope this isn't the case because even though it is one of the older ones, it's one of my personal favourites. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I'd like to know, what do you think's happening with Hex? Do you think the end is near? Or do you think there's a few more years left for this classic dark ride? Let me know down in the comments. If you want to find out some of the best rides at Alton Towers that aren't roller coasters like Hex, then maybe consider checking this video out right here. Or if you want to check out our most recent vlog from Alton Towers, then maybe consider checking this one out too. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.